Thank you to our 4 sponsors for supporting our podcast: Johnny Russell's Art Caterers and Milktown Pies, Alexander Grace Law, Jez and Lisa's Spoonful of Sweets, and SPE Furnishings. Links to their websites are available in the show notes and on our website. Don't forget to subscribe to get all the latest episodes as soon as they're released.
Worlsey Cup still gleaming, years without a cup, never stopped us dreaming.
The game, the Lowerhouse professional has gone. Peter Fulton back in the pavilion, gone for 26. In comes Alan Howarth now bowling to Charlie Cottam. Cottam well forward, just flicks that into the offside. There's no chance of a run, and 70 for 3.
Yeah, he was looking at the bottom of his bat was Peter Fulton. He certainly mishit that shot, and he really was dejected. The first thing he did, he just touched the bottom of his bat and stared down at it. And I think it really was a dejection, an act of dejection really, and a real feeling that he hasn't performed and he hasn't fulfilled his professional status here this afternoon.
Yeah, there'll be an element of that. In comes Howarth again, right on medium pace. Cottam has a swing at that, doesn't connect. It's the young wicket-keeper John Simpson coming round from behind the stumps to field very, very comfortably. Haslingden, I'm sure it's going through their minds. They're joint second in the Lancashire League, going ever so well. I don't think they've lost since they lost to Lowerhouse back in the end of June. So they've had a really, really good run in recent weeks as Alan Howarth comes in again. Right arm medium pace, bowling to Cottam. Cottam trying to flick this away on the leg side. He can't. There's no run. 70 for 3 in the 21st over. Spectator trying to put Briggsy off, but you're doing all right there, Mark?
I'm quite used to that. I'm quite used to it. It's quite nice, actually. But
Was it?
it's quite nice. A kiss from a spectator. You can't really complain. It was a woman.
Yeah, well, let's stress it was a woman, yeah. Cottam now at the crease. The wicket-keeper John Simpson right up behind the stumps. In comes Alan Howarth. Good action, classic action. Bowls. Cottam away. He's off the mark here, and it's a good shot. Lovely shot. And he's still got to the boundary. Top shot from Charlie Cottam. Probably the best of the Lowerhouse innings. He really moved in position quickly. Got well forward. Classic off drive. They raved about this lad when he came into the side at 15, and it's just in the last season or so that he started to fulfil that promise.
He's had some good knocks as Charlie Cottam. He's batted very consistently. Had 5 victims, I think, behind the stumps as well quite recently. I think it may have been in the Worlsey Cup.
Yeah, he's learning the trade behind the stumps. He's not a natural wicket keeper. Let's see how he can do as a batsman as Howarth comes in again. Looks to try and sweep this one. Cottam. It wasn't as good as his previous shot, and I'll leave it at that. He rehearses it once again on one knee, but John Simpson's come away with the ball. 75 for 3. There's 4 to Cottam. 27 now to Chris Blezard. Maybe it all depends on Chris Blezard at this stage.
Well, you were saying earlier, Phil, that Peter Fulton didn't feature in the semi-final victory, and hopefully Lowerhouse will be hoping that it follows a similar pattern. I think there were good knocks. Obviously, that century from Chris Blezard in the semi-final. Charlie Cottam contributed, and certainly there were runs down the order, most notably from Joe Beneducci, who was there at the end to get that victory at the death against Enfield in the semi-finals. So they'll be still confident that they can swing this one, and wouldn't it be pandemonium here? If
it would. It's going to be pandemonium anyway. I don't care what happens. I've just got the stats from the semi. You're not missing anything. 75 for 3 at the end of the over. Lowerhouse beat Enfield by 3 wickets in that semi-final. Lowerhouse 313 for 7. Blezard got 107. Cottam 54. It was a big partnership between the two that got them close to the target. Enfield 310 for 8. Alvaro Peterson 148, and on the losing side. That's incredible stuff. It really is. It needs a partnership now between these two. As I sort of predicted, Stuart Catterall coming into the attack now, Mark.
Yes, Stuart Catterall's got an excellent record, as you say. He had a 5 and a 4 for. He bowled an excellent spell when I covered the Church Haslingden game. It really was a super stint. And again at Nelson, he had very miserly figures, something like 3 for 20 odd, I think it was. It was a splendid performance from Stuart Catterall, and it has been often the case with Lowerhouse. They are a little suspect to spin. I think Catterall had quite a few wickets in the league game earlier in the season, so certainly Paul Blackledge will be hoping for something similar from Stuart Catterall, but he has got a good record against Lowerhouse.
Yes, he has. He's a Southampton-born player, so he's not from these parts, and he comes, classic off-spin, bowls to Blezard. Blezard trying to clip it away, can't score anything off that ball. Catterall, as I said earlier, 9 for 70 in this year's competition. He's the brother of Duncan Catterall, who played for Worcestershire. I'm sure listeners will remember that. He is now pro for Ombersley. I think that's down in Shropshire. In comes Catterall again, bowls to Blezard. There's a muted appeal for LBW, but I don't think the umpire was going to be interested with that. And it's 75 for 3. Just have a look around. What do you think about the weather now, Mark?
Well, it's certainly a little gloomy over Hamilton Hill, so just looking around, it is filling in, but there's plenty of bright sky over to our left.
Catterall bowls again. Sorry, Blezard, just clip this away. Refused the single. I think there was one there. Cottam will have his reasons for turning it down, but Blezard doesn't look too happy. Thought there was a run there, and it's Simpson that has to run round to square leg to field. 75 for 3. We're in the 22nd over, so plenty of overs still to come, obviously, from Catterall, and plenty still to come from Mushtabar. So you just wonder if Haslingden have got a stranglehold. In comes Catterall again, bowls to Blezard. He's clipped this away on the leg side. There's runs here, and a couple of them. A fielder having to come round from long leg. Oh, and again, a mix-up between the wickets. They've not really got that worked out at the moment. There was 2 there. Big certainly got 1.
That was an easy 2 for Haslingden. That was poor cricket by Lowerhouse, that has to be said. But you were talking about the weather there, Phil. It is coming from the west, and I do have to say, where it looks most murky, it is from that direction. So really, it's of no significance. The brighter skies away to the left. The weather is coming away to the right, over the scoreboard. If for people listening on their radios inside the ground, it doesn't look too good.
Catterall again just pushes forward, does Cottam. No chance of a run. It's the bouldered figure of Stuart Catterall that fields off his own bowling. Just hoping it'll just keep away for an hour and a half, and we'll see the game through. It's been a special occasion, really big crowd at Liverpool Road. I can't remember a crowd like this. In comes Catterall again. It's going to bowl to Cottam. Cottam just pushes forward. He's found Michael Ingham at a deep gully position, and there's no chance of a run there. So that's the end of another over. The over's coming through thick and fast now. 76 for 3. The end of the 22nd. Scoring at just over 3 and over. It's not enough at the moment, Mark.
No, you're right there, Phil, but what these two know about each other is time at the crease, that magnificent 100 partnership that got them through against Enfield in the semi-final. They certainly have plenty of stands together throughout the duration of this season, both Chris Blezard and Charlie Cottam. They know each other's styles, they know how to play, and hopefully that will be a big advantage to Lowerhouse as they try and build a stand since the departure of professional Peter Fulton, as a chicken madras and a chicken vindaloo just arrived right in front of us.
Yes, some trade in that stand. It must be turning some money over. We've got Alan Howarth continuing from the Liverpool Road end, right on medium pace, comes into Blezard. Maybe it's all about Chris Blezard now. He's defensively forward there. Smith takes it in the covers. It looks quite good. We've got one just in front of us. Looks like a madras.
250 is making a killing there.
250, yeah. We'll just find out how it tastes in him. There's a young lad in front of us. Well, he wants to be on the mic all afternoon. He's going on in a minute. Howarth to Blezard. Blezard clips this away. He's going to get himself a single. 77 for 3, and moves on to 29. Let's just bring him in. How does he look? Come on. What's your name?
Richard.
Richard, and what's that? Chicken madras?
It's curry and rice.
Curry and rice, and what's that like?
It's nice.
Nice. Now, you've wanted to go on all afternoon, and then I approach you, you've gone all shy.
I know, well...
Are you supporting Lowerhouse today?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Only win.
81.
Good, excellent.
4-3, another 4, and another 4 off that big target of 232, as Phil, I'm not quite sure whether he's had a mouthful of that.
Yes, a gentleman to his left who's wanted to come on all afternoon, and he's a bit jealous now. 81 for 3. Cottam settling down nicely. I like the look of Charlie Cottam. He's a good batsman. Just pushes forward to that one. Yes, Alan Howarth, the bowler.
I think let's have another double at that curry, Phil, whilst you were there. gorging yourself. Charlie Cottam gorged himself on a fine boundary there through long on, and 4 more to the total. He's batting quite well.
He is. He looks a confident lad. He came on the programme a couple of months ago after a win against East Lancs. Did the double, I think, over East Lancs. And he was quite sprightly that night. He's facing Howarth now, trying to push that away on the offside. And it's mush to bar in the gully that fields. No chance of a run. 81 for 3. You've got the batting order just there. You went around and saw Matt up just a few moments ago. Just quickly go through that for us.
Yes, as we know, Chris Blazard and Charlie Cottam now trying to build an innings here in the middle. Ben Heap to come in at number 6, and then the all-rounder Chris Bembo. He's had a few runs for Lowerhouse this season, and then of course just break as the bowler comes in. No addition to the total. Number 8, Joe Beneducci, was one of the heroes of that semi-final win over Enfield. He was there at the death. He really did get the runs when the pressure was on. Batting at number 8 and batting at number 9, Matt Hope, who's batted a lot higher up the order, and Sean Riaz, Sid Riaz as he's known, he's certainly no mug with the bat. And finally Jez Hope will bring up the rear at number 11. So you feel, Phil, Chris Blazard and Charlie Cottam, they may start having memories of that semi-final victory when they put that 100 stand on. If we just feel 1 or 2 slight spots of rain, if Lowerhouse can just get over the 100 total, they may start to build in confidence, and this crowd will start to get very, very restless, I'm sure.
Yes, it's a little bit like that, isn't it? Catterall is going to continue from the pavilion end. The sky's closed in. I'm not sure if we're going to get the rain just yet. It's just in the distance. Let's just keep the fingers crossed. In comes Catterall again, former Leyland Malters player. Blessock comes down the track. Ooh, gets away with that. He's edged that, and it's gone through for 4. They all count, but I tell you what, that was a false shot, Mark.
It certainly was. That was very fortuitous as far as Lowerhouse is concerned. They won't mind that. Wicket-keeper John Simpson straight through him, and very fortuitous to get 4 runs also. So really a double whammy there for Haslingden. The ball evading the wicket-keeper, and that double whammy going also for 4 runs. 85 for 3, and we have 27 overs remaining.
Catterall in again. Right arm off spin, bowls to Blezard. He's clipped this away. Better shot from him there. They'll certainly think about 2 here. Oh, and then again they dallied. Well, they thought about it long and hard, and Blezard sent Cottam back. They settled for the single, 86 for 3. Am I being a little bit critical, but they've got to try and turn the 1s into 2s.
Certainly, they missed out on 1 or 2 shots there, and they have been hitting the field. They have been hitting the fielders on many occasions where, you know, a slightly placed shot could have gone to a boundary. It's certainly a bit of luck as Catterall comes in there, offside, just wide of off stump. He just raised his arms, and there is no run. The score remains on 86 for 3. But I think you are quite right there, Phil. They have missed out on quite a few opportunities, but they're still there, Messrs Blezard and Cottam, and the stand is building for Lowerhouse.
In comes Catterall again. Bowls to Cottam, who came way down the wicket. He's going to get a single, just stabs it out from off and middle, and just finds the fielder. They'll go through for a single. The score moves on to 87 for 3. Hope you're picking up the atmosphere here. It really is a special day here at Lowerhouse.
That really could have gone anywhere as he dabbed down on the ball, as Catterall again comes in, and that may be a single to Blezard. Can't pierce the field, no run as he's sent back, but slightly fortuitous there, Charlie Cottam. He looked straight down at the ball, wondering where the ball had gone. Fortunately, it squirted out into the leg side, and they scrambled through for a single. Could have gone anywhere, could have gone on to the stumps, but he remains, and Lowerhouse survive on 87 for 3 as Catterall comes in again to Chris Blezard, works that out onto the leg side, and evades the field at backward point. In fact, more of a fly slip position, and the fielder comes in off the boundary, restricts it to just 1 run. That is the end of the over, the end of the 24th here. 88 for 3, Phil.
Yeah, it's an important stage here. We've just come towards the halfway mark. 88 for 3, 9 to Cottam. I think he's going to play an important part if Lowerhouse are to get home today. I've got to say, the over rate's been very slow today, Mike. Got a big crowd here. Just wish the teams would have got through the overs a bit quicker.
That's right, yeah, still 26 overs to go, so, you know, you're probably talking... I keep saying an hour and a half. I hope I'm right, because that will take us to 8 o'clock. It could be a bit nip and tuck. Could 26 hours inside an hour and a half. Let's hope they make it.
Howarth bowls, just Blezard into the covers there. It's Andrew Smith that fields. Smith was a wicket-keeper until this year. Big lad, 6'4". Big lad to keep wicket. Probably prefers to be out in the covers as he is now. Howarth will come in again, 88 for 3. Busy run up, right arm medium pace. Bowls, Blezard tries to get this away on the offside. There's going to be runs here, but he's found Dearden down at long off. Just going to have to settle for a single. 89 for 3, 32 to Blezard, 9 to Cottam.
Yeah, they just can't seem to pace this field. Many of the balls, the over pitch deliveries, have gone straight to fielders, and they could just do with 1 or 2 going 5 or 10 yards wide and picking up the boundaries. An attempted sweep goes or counts for nothing, and Charlie Cottam survives that one, that attempted sweep.
Just wondered how if Lowerhouse wished they'd batted, because you know we're possibly facing conditions where we might have to come back tomorrow. I just wonder if Lowerhouse regret not batting first.
Yes, certainly, there's no doubt about that. Haslingden have had the better of the conditions. It was glorious sunshine throughout the duration of the 50 overs, and we came out to sunshine here, but it quickly went overcast, and it's looking very dark and gloomy.
In comes Howarth again, bowling to Cottam. Just pushes that into the onside. He'll certainly get 1. They'll come back for 2. They're going to test Alan Howarth's arm. They're not.
They missed out on another run. I have to say, I think that was well wide of the fielder there. They should have risked a second single, and I'm sure they would have come through. Whether it's a few nerves, I'm not too sure, but as I said before, Phil, Blezard and Cottam, they should have a pretty good understanding. They bat at 4 and 5, and they must have spent hours out. They must have spent hours out in the middle there, Messrs. Blezard and Cottam.
They will have done. Howarth bowls. Blezard clips this away on the onside. He's found Howarth again. Another single. 91 for 3 as we approach the halfway mark of the Lowerhouse score. The target, remember, 232. You're listening to BBC Radio Lancashire live from the 2004 Worlsey Cup Final. Early estimates suggesting there's nearly 3,000 people on the ground. Massive turnout. Well done to everybody here. In comes Howarth again, bowling to Cottam. Cottam pushes forward. He's got runs here. He's gone towards wide third man. They thought about 2. They're going to come back for 2. It's comfortable enough on this occasion. 93 for 3. 12 to Charlie Cottam. 32 to Chris Blezard.
Yeah, I've got to say that was a similar situation, Phil, that when we had a couple of deliveries ago where they only ran 1, and that was a comfortable 2 runs. They really will have to start pedalling. As you said, the halfway stage, 93 for 3, so still a long way to go to that target of 232. 139 still required. 25 overs remain, so we're looking upwards, getting up towards a runner ball, Phil.
Yeah, we are, and that's the problem, isn't it? It was just over 4 and over when we started, and we're now approaching 6 and over. I haven't got the calculator to hand, but that's what it is, basically. And they've got to look for a run off every ball, and they need a boundary or 2 to boot. Catchall again is going to bowl, and this is one of the tightest bowlers in the Lancashire League. He really doesn't give anything away. Classical off-spin, passes the umpire, bowls. Blezard clips this away. There's runs here. There's only 1 though, because Andrew Smith dives to his left-hand side, goalkeeper style, and that was a great stop. They go through for a single.
Yes, so it's showing his wicket-keeping skills there. The large frame of Alan Smith. We thought he may threaten earlier in the innings, but Phil, you got it spot on when you said that he was getting tied down and he was going to have a bit of a dash at the ball, and that he did, and he perished the very next ball.
Yeah, it was a proper dash as well. Cottam's had a go here. He's got this away. There's runs here, and that's a boundary. Badly needed one. It defeats Paul Blackledge diving in the field, and that will bring 98 on the board. 98 for 3. Cottam on to 16. This lad gets his runs quickly, Mark.
Yeah, certainly a psychological advantage as well, or a psychological boost when they hit the 3 figures. You can just see the excitement around the ground when they just score a boundary. You can imagine what the excitement would be if they actually lift this.
Nobody'd hear us. You can forget that trying to hear us. The noise has been deafening all afternoon. In comes Catterall again. Bowls to Cottam. Defensive shot now, just to emphasise that he can play all aspects of the game. No chance of a run. It's the wicket-keeper that fields. Getting a bit fresher. The wind getting up a little bit. No evidence of rain just for the moment.
Well, the good news is, Phil, I think I pointed out a great big black cloud over Hamilton Hill about 10 minutes ago, and as you quite rightly just said, it's moving away to our right. So hopefully we've evaded all that and we can get the duration of this game in tonight.
Catterall fields off the bowling Sorry, off his own bowling, I should say. Defensive shot from John Simpson. It's been a long day. You will pardon that. I need to lie down after this. What a headache you're going to have after this. Catterall comes in again to the batsman Cottam, just pushes forward. The bowling figure of Catterall fields off his own bowling.
Very sensible batting there from Charlie Cottam. He's struck the fine boundary. He's got the 4 runs already in this over. He's just waiting perhaps for a shortish delivery or a full-length delivery. All the deliveries have been forward defensive. Very intelligent batting.
Good bowler Catterall. Comes a bit shorter this time. Moved down the pitch to Cottam, but Mushtabar fields well at mid-wicket. No chance of a single. 98 for 3 at the end of the 26th. And the maths are straightforward. 134 needed now off 24 overs. So bit to do of Lowerhouse, but still in the hunt, Mark.
That's right, but that was very intelligent bowling there by Stuart Catterall. He got clattered for that 4 through the extra cover area and then came back in fine style and bowled 5 deliveries pretty much spot on that Charlie Cottam could do nothing about. So just 4 off that over from Stuart Catterall, and he's carrying on in the same vein he's had in this 2004 championship. It really has been fine stuff.
Interesting that Asif Mushtabar has handed his cap to the umpire. He's coming back into the attack. 25 tests, 66 one-day internationals for Pakistan, over 17,000 first-class runs. He's a great bowler as well. The first delivery is a forward defensive shot from Chris Blezard. No chance of a run. They'll not get 6 and over off Asif Mushtabar, that's for certain. And let's just see what Mushtabar does here. Blezard pushes forward. There are other big games going on today. We know about Settle against West Horton. Let's just catch up with the Manchester Evening News final. It's the Northern League against the Bolton League, and here's Jim Kenyon.
Yes, it's 145 for 5, the Northern League here. 216 is the target. 16 overs remain. At the crease we've got Kevin Howarth. 28 not out. A big innings needed from him. And as I say, his partner is Lee Sparks, who's just got 4, who's just come to the crease. Since you were last year, Joe Davies was out, a victim of Tim Barrow. That was 123 for 4, and David Palace followed him, 133 for 5. He was bowled by Jones for 4. So much depends now on Kevin Howarth. There is still batting to come. David Makinson's still got to come in, and quality people of that nature. So it's not a forlorn hope at the moment. Another run there as I speak. That'll move the Northern League now to 147 for 5. 29 to Kevin Howarth. 5 to his partner Lee Sparks. 216 the target. 16 overs remain. It could be game on yet.
Still a very good game there in that Manchester Evening News final. You've missed nothing here. It's still 99 for 3. Mushtabar into Cottam. Just tries to fashion a shot outside off stump there, but he's found the man at fly slip. There's no run. 99 for 3 it remains. 16 to Cottam. 35 to Chris Blezard. And so much rests on these two now. In comes Mushtabar again. Slow left arm. Shorter delivery. Cottam got it away. Mushtabar not happy with the ball. But that was a good shot from Cottam for 1. And that's the 100 up. Just another 132 needed.
Yeah, but that's a boost, a psychological boost for Lowerhouse. 100 up, 100 for 3. This stand now building 30 between these two, Chris Blezard and Charlie Cottam. And hopefully Asif Mushtabar now can get that over rate up a little bit, because I was just fearful that we could be going off air at 8 o'clock and not having missed the final.
No, we'll make some plans, don't worry. We'll sort something out. 100 for 3. And, well, it's nicely set, is this one. Really is nicely set. Stuart Catterall will bowl again from the pavilion end.
Yes, Stuart Catterall's bowling a fine stint as he comes in from the pavilion end, as you say, Phil, to the batsman, and that is Charlie Cottam, just defensively forward into that mid-off area. Applause there from Stuart Catterall for that fielding by the large frame of Alan Smith. No run to the target. 100 and, well, it's exactly 100 for 3, so 132 required for Lowerhouse to lift the trophy for the very first time. Charlie Cottam just trying to have a bit of a dash at Alan Howarth, unsuccessful, and eventually has to play a forward defensive shot back to the Haslingden bowler as Catterall returns to his mark off a steady 7-8 pace run up past the umpire to Cottam. Again, Cottam classically defensively forward, Again, he finds Alan Smith in the cover area this time as he goes back to his fielding position. So just a bit of a grip by Messrs. Catterall. You can possibly know what is happening here.
Yeah, we've got the customary
We've had our
streaker.
first streaker, but he's been very late, Phil.
Yeah, he has.
We were told he was coming on about an hour ago.
It has to happen. A shake of the hand from Andrew Smith. Somehow we've got to 20-7.
He's got a good time.
Without it happening, we need to really get this gentleman off because we've got a game to get on with here. He's getting encouraged by the fans. Don't know what he's doing. He's almost by the middle. Two burly coppers are on
He's having
to
a bit
try
of a
and
rat.
catch him.
The police are finally on, but
Yeah, the police will
it
get
took
him
the
off.
time. They're perhaps enjoying it, Phil. It certainly took the time getting on there.
A few boos as he's going to be escorted.
Is it going to be the classic helmet over the nether region?
I don't think it is. I think somehow we're going to get his undergarments back on. That's very, very noble of him to take the shorts with him.
Very thoughtful.
And he's coming off.
Yes, and
Let's get on with the game, I think.
Yes.
He's had his moment of glory. I think we could do with jogging off. We could get through these overs, please.
yeah, that's quite right. We were just saying we're thankful that Mushtabar was back on top of the over it, but we've been scuppered by the entrance of the streakers.
He's put another pair of shorts on now.
Well, I think he's had his picture taken also, because I've just seen a couple of flashes out of the crowd. Not literally a flash. From a camera, of course.
I think what's happening here, he's done it for a bet and he wants a bit of evidence. So let's just see what happens. I don't think he'll be in the papers tomorrow somehow.
Oh, no, I just thought there was going to be a...
No. A dummy run. A gentleman in shorts just comes across.
Surely not a brace of streakers.
Some good news from Settle. Settle 255 for 7. Robin Morris got 71. Tim Green 58. West Horton 87 for 2 after 19. So looking good at the moment for Settle. Can they get through to the Lancashire Cup Final?
Yes.
In comes Catterall again. Bowls to Cottam. Cottam tries to sweep that away.
Yeah, they look two very evenly matched sides, do both Settle and West Horton. West Horton 80 for 2, as you say, and they're posting a very good total, 235. They'll be thinking that their triple is very much on course, looking like they're getting into the final of the Lancashire Cup.
Cottam
Let's hope so.
Sweeps at that. He's found the man at short leg. There's no chance of a run.
There certainly is. There's been one or two distractions. We're coping
just
very
ever
well
so
far.
slightly. 100 for 3 will continue regardless. In comes Catterall again.
I'm sure Mr. Hickson's admiring our professionalism.
Yes, well, we're trying. Not sure it's professionalism, but there we go. I think there's a collection going round for some reason. It's been wafted in our
maybe for
faces.
streaker.
Possibly, yeah. Might be for a better set of shorts, maybe. The police have got hold of him anyway. I don't know whether he's going to be a victor, but doesn't really matter. 100 for 3 at the end of the 28th over, so the maths are straightforward. 132 needed off the remaining 22 overs.
Yeah, it's creeping up. It's now over 6, just over 6, Phil. 22 into 32 is... unfortunately, just about 6. In fact, it's bang on 6 and over. So I run a ball, and it's getting a bit of a tall order. These two very much with the responsibility of Mushtabar in again, and they've put quite a stranglehold on this innings in the last 5 or 6 overs, both Catterall and Mushtabar. There hasn't been many runs. In fact, that's 100 total. I think Catterall bowled a maiden in the last over, despite all the distractions. I did notice, I think in all the mayhem, that the last over was a maiden by Stuart Catterall.
Yeah, it was. Blizzard just got himself a single there off Mushtabar. 101 for 3. Didn't help the batting side, I didn't think that. The streaker coming on, it breaks up concentration. Cottam and Blizzard are an important stage here.
Yeah, almost certainly didn't help. I'm sure he's done it unwittingly. He's possibly had a few pints, but certainly more advantageous to...
It's been a good day. It's been a good day for the breweries. We'll leave it at that. In comes Mushtabar again. Slow left arm. Bowls to Cottam. Cottam punches forward nicely. He'll get a single here. Long on and long off a well back. It just takes the opportunity to grab a single. 18 then to Cottam. The good news, Mark, I think it's got a little bit brighter.
It certainly has. All that dark cloud away to our right has certainly gone. You're quite right in saying it has got brighter. In fact, looking very bright over in that direction.
It is. It's looking better.
It's looking very good.
It is looking better.
Let's hope that Storm Chaser doesn't contact us with any bad news.
Here comes Mushtabar again, ball into Blizzard, trying to clip it away off his pad, unsuccessful. It's Simpson Fields behind the Timbers, 102 for 3 after 29 overs. Gonna have to put the foot on the pedal, I think, very soon. There's some decent hitters to come. I've seen Joey Beneducci before, and he can strike a ball. I'm sure Chris Bembo can as well. So all not lost yet for Lowerhouse, if I can get it out. Working these teeth in for somebody, I think.
Just maybe down to the captain at number 9, Matt.
Well, yeah, Matt can bat. Matt can bat. He'd swing his bat. He certainly would. Just wondering what's happening here. Stuart Catterall taking his time handing his sweater to the umpire. We've got a radio programme to finish at 8. I think when the 7 o'clock news is on, we'll go out there and just remind everybody, because it's not been the quickest of games. You've got a big crowd here. You really should be getting through the overs and trying to encourage these people to come back again next weekend. Catterall is bowling from the pavilion end, former Leyland Motors cricketer. In he comes, off spin, bowls. Cottam trying to get it away on the leg side. There's Mushtabar to field. The bowler wanted to get in on the act.
You might have heard that. I think he's a Lowerhouse fan.
Yeah, one of the Lowerhouse fans, just trying to make themselves heard live on radio. I told him it was being recorded earlier to try and put him off. Catterall appeals for leg before. Nothing happens. The umpire not interested. Cottam gets away with that. 102 for 3. 18 now to Cottam. 36 to Blizzard. A word about the scoreboard, because I think they've done absolutely magnificently today. Kept right up with it.
Absolutely.
Word of credit, really have done well. In comes Catterall again, bowling to Cottam, swings at that, paddles it away, that's 4 runs. Nice shot. He's been trying to do that once or twice, and he worked it really nicely there. He moves on to 22. It was a very, very fine sweep.
That was a nice death shot there from Cottam, and fully deserved the 4 runs. You were mentioning the scoreboard, Phil. It must have been like a sweatbox in there this afternoon, and just can't speak too highly of the scoreboard operators and the scorers inside that box. It's 6 or 7 people inside there, including the scorers and the operators.
They've done really well.
They really have.
Catterall comes in again, bowling to Cottam. He's got this away on the onside. A lot of dust comes up as he hits that. He's certainly going to get 1. They didn't think about 2. Easy bit of fielding for the fielder down there. 107 for 3. 23 to Cottam. Whilst it's a little bit bright, I just felt a spot of rain there.
I did feel a spot of rain.
That doesn't continue.
About 5 or 10 minutes ago, but gladly that subsided. It is quite bright. I think it's that murky cloud over to our right, and hopefully it'll just thin out and bypass us.
More runs here. Blizzard happy with the single. Just clipped it off his legs. Cotterall just straying down the leg side. That's the single to Blizzard.
So they must... Sorry, Phil. So they must know now, Cottam and Blizzard, it's a runner ball. It's quite easy to work out for them both. Vastly experienced, and they certainly will know the score.
Catterall again, bowls down the wicket this time. Cottam's a good hit, but he'll only get 1 for it. He's picked out the skipper, Paul Blackledge. He just throws the ball in easily, hiding his arm. 109 for 3. Cottam getting down the track. They've got to do that, Mark, against Catterall.
That's right. It's pinpointed Catterall. He's bowled a fine stint since he came on at the pavilion end, and even more so at the other end, at the Liverpool Road end. We have Asif Mushtabar, who's just as pinpoint. In fact, even more so. He really is an accurate bowler, and Lowerhouse will just have to try and unsettle both Catterall and Mushtabar, just not to try and get them in a line, in a rut that can heighten the score rate even further.
Yeah, 123 needed off 20 overs, so the maths are straightforward. It's almost 6 and over, just over 6 and over. Aslington lads thinking long and hard about this. As if Mushtabar's had his second spell. The ball's back with Alan Howarth. I'm sure Mushtabar will close the innings out, and it's going to be the former Ramsbottom all-rounder Howarth to come in. He missed out with the bat. Up for him today. It really was all about Knowles with 88, Dearden with 76. They were the main contributors. In comes Howarth again. Leisurely run up, bowls away with Cottam. He's got runs here. He's just pushed that down towards long off. Dearden, easy bit of fielding for him. Another single. What Haslingden are doing with all the bowlers, they're pushing long on and long off right back, and they're giving Lowerhouse the single.
Certainly are, I've noticed that, and Mushtabar obviously been saved for the later stages of the innings. Not quite sure how many overs he bowled, Phil, but certainly he'll have 3 or 4 up his sleeve.
Well, I think it's 3. Howarth bowls to Blezard. Again, this time it's on the onside, but finds long on. They chalk through for a single. You know, Chris Blezard's a very experienced cricketer, maths teacher at Aberdeen High. He's a bright lad. He'll know all about the maths. He'll have worked out it's run a ball. A bit quicker than you and I, perhaps. But he's taken the singles. There's no reason yet to go absolutely bananas.
Certainly no panic, Phil. Only
No.
3 wickets down. As you said, plenty of batting to come. People who've done it before in a pressure cooker situation.
In comes Howarth. Bowls to Cottam. Cottam trying to get it away on the leg side. They're going to scramble a leg by here. Asif Mushtabar picks up the ball, but the batsmen are home very, very easily. 112 for 3. They've got to take every single that's offered. Quick yawn from Mark. It's been a long day, hasn't it?
He's just inching towards that total. Just 120 now. I don't think I'll fall asleep, that's for sure, but it has been a long day. 26 and 38 respectively. 38 to Chris Blezard. It's been a fine innings, and 26 to Charlie Cottam. 112 for 3 and more runs here. He goes to the bend. It's gone over just in front of the commentary position. Despairing dive from Michael Ingham. 4 more to the total. 116 for 3.
Tries everywhere, yes, for Michael Ingham. You just see there, Mark, he's had problems with his back this year. He really is a top-class cricketer, but he's had problems with his back this year. You can see sort of bandage or a corset or whatever just at the back there. So he struggled as Michael.
Well, he certainly gave 100% in trying to stop that.
He did.
That boundary, but Chris Blezard now moves into the 40s as Alan Howarth comes into the man Blezard. Blezard defensively forward into the offside, but well, that was that would have been. Don't know
what Charlie Cottam was doing there. There was never a run on. It was just pushed to Blackledge at mid-wicket. He started to go. Blackledge was at full stretch, and probably that helped Cottam because he couldn't pick up the momentum. He couldn't get a throw in on the stumps, and Cottam survived.
That's right. So Alan Howarth again trying to eke out one of these two. This partnership building. Howarth into Blezard. Blezard again punches that into the leg side. Wanted a single, but that was well fielded in that mid-on position. No run. The score remains on 116 for 3. That is the end of the overs. So the overs decreasing, Phil, and Lowerhouse, well, they will say edging close to that first ever victory, that first ever piece of silverware.
Do you know what? We promised David Ram we wouldn't keep going on about that. You've got to mention it, I guess.
Yeah.
One or two Lowerhouse supporters have said, well, we've won the Holland Cup for finishing runners-up, but it's not quite the same. 142 years without a pot. I just wonder, in the next hour or so, are they going to collect themselves a trophy? 116 for 3. I'd just have Haslingden as favourites, though, Mark.
Yeah, I think you're right. Overrun a ball, and you would think if they could eke out a wicket or two, they would be overwhelming favourites. And if you did have to take a side at the moment, you would favour Haslingden. 116 for 3, and 19 overs remain. As the bowler come in, that bowler is Stuart Catterall. That's a nice shot from Charlie Cottam. He'll look for 1. He'll come back for 2. 2 more added to the total. As a misfield, he'll think about 3. Not possibly. There's no possible way that they could have come back for 3.
Yeah, I think the crowd out there, they just egged the fielder on, and he didn't get the throw in. They've got to challenge him.
Paul Blackledge down there.
It is, yeah, he won't be happy with that.
He had to throw it on one knee, but they couldn't glean that third run, but they certainly got 2. 118 for 3. As Stuart Catterall again comes in with his off spin to Charlie Cottam. He has a real good shot at that. It's a good stroke there into the onside. It takes a single, and the score clicks over to 119 for 3.
Yeah, he's a nice striker of a ball, is Cottam. If he just gets that front foot forward, swings through it, it's a bit golf-like, but I'll tell you what, he can time a ball. And he's starting to get Lowerhouse back in the picture.
As Catterall again comes in past the umpire to Chris Blezard, now into the 40s as he moves on to 43. That's glanced nicely down to fine leg, and he'll glean another run for himself. 120 for 3. We're in the 32nd over in this 2004 final. I'm just wondering, Phil, whether Paul Blackledge will bowl Stuart Catterall with 10 on the spin.
He could well do. He is a very economical bowler. We'll just have to wait and see, I think.
As Catterall in to Cottam, almost bamboozled there. It went through his defences, big puff of dust, up went the arms of the wicket-keeper, but the umpire is unmoved, possibly got a bit of bat on that, certainly an LBW claim it was from behind the stumps. Stuart Catterall wasn't interested.
Yeah, I think the wicket-keeper was keener than Catterall, and for that reason the umpire just basically acknowledged it with a shake of the head.
Catterall returns to the pavilion end, his marker, as he comes in off around 7 or 8 paces to Charlie Cottam, and down the wicket 2 paces, can't get it out into the offside, mistimes it, a kind of bump ball really, out into the offside, and another dot ball as far as Stuart Catterall is concerned. Mops his brow. It must be very, very hot out there.
It will be. These two have now put on 50. I just missed that run got them to the 50 partnership, but it's a good effort, and Cottam's got 29 of them.
Yes, 70 for 3 it was at the exit of Peter Fulton as Catterall comes in. Cottam again tries to sweep that down to, well, it's a shortish fine leg now, unfortunately for him, and that prevents the run. So the fielder there preventing.
Yeah, it's good captaincy from Blackledge. He saw the sweep earlier from Cottam, and he put a man in very fine. I think it's Alan Howarth, just to make sure he doesn't benefit from that shot. And that was a good bit of fielding, because if it had gone past Howarth, that would have been 4 more.
It certainly would, and that would have gone all the way to the boundary. The crowd in anticipation here. We're talking about a 3,000 crowd. Can't quite believe that, but we will be coming up to the 7 o'clock news in a couple of minutes' time.
OK, 120 for 3, 29 to Cottam, 43 to Chris Blezard. This final very, very evenly poised. The clouds look like, the dark clouds look like they're moving on. Let's keep the fingers crossed, because we want to finish this game tonight. We really just spoil the occasion coming back tomorrow. In comes Howarth, bowls to Blezard. He's hit out at this one. He's going to get runs here. It's 4 of them past Alan Howarth. That's his best shot of the day. That's 47 now to Chris Blezard. 124 on the board. Excellent stuff from Lowerhouse.
Should be interesting if Chris Blezard can perhaps just squeeze out a half century before the 7 o'clock news. I make it is around 90 seconds in which to do that, so we'll certainly see another couple of deliveries before the news at 7. Let's hope Chris Blezard, for the listeners' sake, can get that half century live here on Radio Lancashire.
Yeah, he's going to face Alan Howarth, the former stand player. He's got the ball in his hand, right arm medium place. It's Blezard facing. He's now on 47. Wicket-keeper right up behind the stumps. Howarth bowls. Blezard pushes forward. Orthodox defensive shot. No need to hit out on every ball. It really isn't that tight yet. But the Worsley Cup, the 2004 Worsley Cup Final, evenly poised. Aslington 231 all out early in the day. Lowerhouse stand 124 for 3 in the 33rd over.
In the midst of ancient Greece lived Glaucus, a sea god, with huge broad shoulders and legs that curved to form a twisting fish's tail. Over water, no mortal would ever have greater power than he.
Here Thorpe going for gold. He's really ploughing through the water. The world record, the Olympic record, smashed to smithereens.
Legends will be rewritten. The Olympic Games, starting Saturday on BBC TV, bbc.co.uk and BBC Radio.
Cricket Extra with Phil Bird on BBC Radio Lancashire.
Welcome back to a very special Cricket Extra. It's Cricket Extra live for you tonight, live from the 2004 Worlsey Cup Final. Lowerhouse against Aslington. The game finally poised as we go into the last hour. 136 for 3 now for Lowerhouse. We've got 16 overs to go. They need 232 to win. Earlier today, Aslington 231. Barry Knowles run out for 88. Steve Dearden 76. That pair put on 90 for the 3rd wicket. Good work from Lewis McIntosh towards the end. 38 not out for him. Peter Fulton 3 for 24. Ben Heap 2 for 17. They were the pick of the bowlers. The game is in the balance. We've got a drinks break at the moment. Other big games today. Settle against West Horton. The Lancashire Cup semi-final. Playing for a place in the final at Old Trafford. Settle 255 for 7. Robin Morris, their professional, got 71. Tim Green got 50. 58. West Orton, last we heard, 81 for 2 after 19 overs. It's also the MEN Interleague Final over at Kearsley Cricket Club. Northern League against the Bolton League. Let's find out how the Northern League are doing with Jim Kenyon.
Northern League struggling at the moment, 166 for 8, but there's still 8 overs remaining after this one. And at the crease at the moment, we've got David Makinson and Tom Blundell. Sadly, wickets fell. David Fallon was bowled by Jones for 4. Lee Sparks, aiming for a big hit, was excellently caught on the boundary by Chris Barrow off his brother bowling. Benson was run out for 4. That was 163 for 7. It's now really much depends on whether David Makinson and Tom Blundell can get this team up past the post, and there's runs there. In fact, that's 4 down to third man, so that takes it to 170. It's still possible. 46 runs are needed by the Northern League to win. 8 overs remain after this. Makinson is 7. His partner, Tom Blundell's got 5. A big innings now will really make someone a hero. 170 is on the board. 170 for 8, the Northern League looking for 216.
The Counties Cricket Station, BBC Radio Lancashire.
Welcome back to Liverpool Road. What an exciting last 16 overs we face here. 136 for 3, Lowerhouse. Chris Blezard just got to his 50, just whilst the news was on, just pushed it into the mid-wicket area, went through for a single. Charlie Cottam still with him. I must say, he's played well for his 31. We're about to restart after that break for drinks. Got to say, it's a little bit darker at Lowerhouse at the moment. We've had a glorious day weather-wise, but really since 6 o'clock, the sun's gone, we've got cloud cover, and let's hope it just stays fine for the next hour, because we've got a classic cup final on here. And another throw of the dice here for Haslington. Steve Dearden coming back into the attack. We thought he might do, Mark, and this is an important stage of the game.
Yeah, it certainly is. This stand building now, 66 between these two, Chris Blezard and Charlie Cottam. Steve Dearden, a very experienced bowler, bowled a good stint in his first spell, had the wickets. Cottam ball, a fine Cottam ball to get John Finch out in the 3rd over when the score was 12 for 1, and Steve Dearden back here from the Liverpool Road end of the ground as he comes in and bowls to Chris Blezard. Chris Blezard will, in fact, it's Charlie Cottam will get a couple of runs straight away, so still back on track. Also back on track, Lowerhouse 138 for 3, and Charlie Cottam now edging near his 50. And hopefully, as far as Lowerhouse are concerned, that stand building like it did in the semi-final, Phil.
Yes, it is. It's already worth 68. Remember, Fulton went with the score 70 for 3. Fulton got 26. Jonathan Finch 4. Vishal Tripathi 3. Those are the men back in the pavilion as Dearden bowls again. That went through Cottam a little bit. He's got an edge on it. Gone down towards Blomley at 3rd man. They'll get 1. They're coming back for 2 because Blomley initially misfielded it. They have got the 2. 140 for 3. Since that drinks break, Mark, a new urgency as far as Lowerhouse are concerned.
Yeah, that's right. And they've got 4 runs off the first 2 deliveries, so good cricket by Messrs Blezard and Cottam. Chris Blezard, as you say, a fine 50 from him as he punched it out to bring up his half-century. He'll be getting a good collection, I'm sure, in a few minutes time, but Charlie Cottam equally at the other end has batted very well indeed, and he's now in the 40s, 41 not out, as another dot ball goes down in the scorebook. Steve Dearden, the bowler from the Liverpool Road end, 140 for 3. 14, or should I say 16 overs will remain, or 15 after this one, currently being bowled by Stephen Dearden as he vigorously polishes the ball on his right thigh as he's in off 8 or 9 paces past the umpire to Charlie Cottam in, and Cottam thrashes at that one, pierces the field. Will that go all the way to the boundary? The fielder despairingly runs towards it. That is 4 runs, a cracking shot there by Charlie Cottam as he edges towards that half-century.
Yeah, big over this for Lowerhouse. They've taken 8 off it already, 144 for 3. The drum beats behind us. I'll be dreaming about that, I think, tonight. It really has been incessant all afternoon. Dearden's ready to come in again to Cottam. Cottam right-hand bat, thin spiny character, but he's going to hook this. Has it gone through the wicket-keeper? He hasn't made contact. Simpson took it comfortably. The cloud's just closing in a little bit now. Let's hope we're okay for the rest of this match. 144 for 3 now. And they didn't want to concede runs when Dearden came back into the attack.
Certainly not, and he's gone for plenty in this opening over of his second spell as he comes in from the Liverpool Road, and Charlie Cottam does connect this time, but unfortunately it's straight to the fielder at mid-on. It wasn't where he intended. He was looking to hit it well behind the umpire, behind backward square, but a few drops of rain now descend upon this Liverpool Road ground, Phil. It's looking a little ominous. Let's hope it's slightly. Not too incessant.
Yeah, it is a little bit, isn't it? It's starting to rain. I'm just, for the first time, I'm really worried now. 144 for 3, 50 to Blizzard, 45 to Charlie Cottam. And this is going to be an interesting phase here. Will the umpires let them stay on, or are we going to go off here because of rain? It's starting to rain a little bit harder. The umpires are just waiting to see, I think, what happens. One or two people running for cover.
He's halted the ball.
Yeah, I think we're going to go off, unfortunately, here. What a crying shame. Really is finely poised. 15 overs left to bowl, and I'm afraid we're going off for rain here in the Worlsey Cup Final. 144 for 3. There's 45 to Charlie Cottam, 50 to Chris Blizzard. We're going to run for cover in a moment or two, get inside the radio van, but it'd be interesting perhaps at this stage to have a look back at yesterday's 2020 competition, Surrey against Lancashire.
The ball would fly off the bat in that situation, and if you make contact, certainly the extra pace that Dearden bowls out, the ball's going to fly off the bat, and they won't catch it if they're in the air, and certainly the pace and tempo is a lot different when they're flying about, and they probably have a defensive field anyway, would have to do by that stage, maybe one slip, and the rest of them would be saving boundaries. So, there's no surprise really that they take the quicker bowlers on.
Yeah, it's really interesting game.
It's a clever, Mr. Barr's a very, very switched on, clever league cricketer now. He knows the game, he plays it week in, week out, and if he's 3 overs to bowl, just remember if you start and have to come back tomorrow, say, to finish the 18 overs off, he's got 3 to bowl, and he won't be giving much away when it comes his turn to bowl.
No, you're right. Just looking ahead to next Thursday very briefly, Jim, you'll have seen the squad earlier today. Gareth Batty added to the party. Indications then that the Old Trafford pitch will take a bit of spin.
Yes, well, possibly. That's interesting, because I saw his father, David Batty, a couple of weeks ago, and I said, your lad will be hoping he's going to get called up for the test team. He said, well, I don't know. He said he probably needs to score a few more runs, actually, and he said he's bowling all right, but he needs to score a few more runs. Anyway, lo and behold, he's there today.
He got his first first-class century, didn't he, during the week as well? Yeah. So that was well timed. But it looks like,
as I say, that's how they were thinking. The Batty family,
Yeah, definitely.
I think the credit to the boy up. I think as well.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's place might be in jeopardy come Thursday. It just perhaps depends on the pitch. Thanks ever so much, Jim. It's a sad conclusion. I'm afraid the Northern League have lost that competition in the MEN final, but they've done ever so well to get there. That was Jim Kenyon live from Kearsley Cricket Club. It's getting brighter here. Still 1 or 2 spots of rain. We're going to find out exactly what's happening out in the middle. Everybody's huddled around the pitch. It's covered at the moment. 1 or 2 spits of rain. Whilst we're doing that, let's...
We didn't see the 2 batsmen going very, very well, and we could have done without it, but 20 minutes, half an hour later, we're back on, and fingers crossed.
Yeah, Chris Cottam and Cottam and Blizzard bowling or batting is absolutely superb. That stand building now, just to run the ball literally, it's looking very good.
Well, it is. We need approximately 90 or 15 overs, 16 over, 7 wickets left, 2 lads on 50 and 45. We would expect to win it from here, but of course anything can happen in cricket.
Yeah, run a ball, they've all set. Of course, they were the backbone of the semi-final victory against Enfield when they put that 100 stand on, and hopefully they can repeat the action here in the final.
Yes, hopefully so. I mean, the asking rate was a lot bigger then. It was between 9 and 10 and over. And no disrespect to Enfield, but I think the Haslingden bowling attack is a little bit stronger than Enfield's, and this is not going to be easy. It's by no means over and done with yet. In fact, it's starting to rain again.
Well, I think we'll just step back about 3 paces, Stan, and just bring you to the commentary position as again we're in and Stuart Catterall's bowled a pretty good line and length this afternoon. There's one more run. He's added to the target. 145 now for the loss of 3 wickets. Catterall and Mushtabal did tie things down for a spell, but it looked like Cottam and Blezard had got through it.
Yeah, he does. We've lost wickets at times that weren't helpful to us, and the pro has gone pretty cheaply. But we do bat a long way down. We've still got plenty of batting to come. Field spread out. The ball's obviously a lot older and it's not doing as much, so I think weather permitting and light permitting, most things are in our favour.
Yeah, you're on added to the total of 146 for 6. You mentioned you bat deep, Stan. Joe Meducci batting at number 8, I think, and the captain, Matty's batting at number 9, so certainly you do bat very deep.
Yes, we do, with Chris Benbow to come here. Chris is more than capable batsman. He's had Lancashire League 50s, although he's only been here with us for this season. Can play either game, a careful game or a big hitting game. Joe Beneducci's a big hitter. Ben Heap was extremely helpful in the last game, batted extremely well against Enfield, so again, things in our favour. We've nothing to fear, I don't think.
Do you think it'll be in the minds of Haslingden players that these two put 100 on against Enfield in the semi-final?
I think it will. I think it's no matter how much you try and raise your game and how professional you are, when two batsmen are going great guns, it's not easy to wrest the ascendancy from them. And we have the ascendancy, and hopefully it will continue to the end of the game like that.
You've just been telling us about the magnificent receipts here at Liverpool Road this afternoon, just short of 5,000. That possibly represents, well, a massive crowd, 2,500 maybe inside this afternoon.
Well, I would say certainly 1,800. It's difficult to say how many pensioners are on, and that's obviously half price. There's plenty of kids on, but we did give children sponsored tickets, free to them, but paid for by us. I would think there'll be at least 1,800 on. And I understand the previous record was 3,200, so this is going to take some beating in the future.
You say the powers that be above are making it very difficult for Lowerhouse Cricket Club. Do you think the powers that be up above will get you through in the end?
Well, I hope so. It's been 142 years of cricket without winning a senior trophy, and clearly the big man upstairs has decided he's not going to make it easy for us this time either. Being off twice because of the rain. We're playing in a poor light, but of course that can affect the fielders. So like I said, we've been joking really. He's not going to make it easy for us, but it's down to us. We've just got to do it and bat sensibly, bat carefully, and bat as well as we can.
I think it's nice now that first over has now got through. It was essential that both Cottam and Blezard bat a couple of overs, get their sightings correct once more. It was a disadvantage going off with that 66-run partnership, building very well indeed. But they've come through that first over, and hope things now, hopefully for you, things are back on track.
Yeah, you're right. Many wickets are lost just after an interruption, so we're clearly very pleased that these two have got through that first over. But 14 overs to go and a long way to go.
Yeah, Chris Blezard has been the mainstay for many games, for many years, and a most consistent player. What an asset he's been to Lowerhouse Cricket Club, and once again a 50 in the bank in front of a massive crowd.
Yes, indeed, thoroughly deserved. I know the first collection of the day was over £300, and thoroughly deserved too, as indeed was the second collection, and Chris has fully deserved this one. He's a magnificent player, and the last few years has benefited from batting on magnificent tracks, as I think everybody appreciates in the Lancashire League now, that the Lowerhouse wicket is always bag full of runs. Today's been no exception. I think Haslingden will probably be disappointed that they only got 232. At one stage 280 looked highly likely, but we managed to peg them back. So just to return to Chris, yeah, terrific player, very focused, outstanding batsman, more than useful bowler, and a terrific fielder. He's had professional offers, he's turned them down, and that's been to our benefit, of course.
He'll certainly have the run rate in the bag, because with him being a maths teacher, he'll certainly know the runs per over for the duration.
Well, he will. I think, fortunately, the rain doesn't affect it, with it being a full 50 over game, come what may. Back tomorrow night, I think, if this is rained off. But, yeah, I'm sure he's got it all worked out.
The Haslingden, I think it was Michael Ingham there, and he's supposed to have a slight injury. He certainly gave 100% as that one came crashing over. It brings up the 150 for 3, and that really was action right in front of us there, Stan.
Yeah, it was. I thought he was going to slide into us at first, but Michael Ingham's a fantastic cricketer, Lancashire League record run scorer, thoroughly deserved. we were certainly glad to see the back of him today. What he's done personally, and of course for Haslin, has been absolute credit to him. Terrific play.
And it was a smashing shot by Cottam to bring up his 50. Both batsmen now set. Charlie Cottam 50 not out. Chris Blezard 51. It really is looking good. All the 50s are up. 50, 51 and 150 total. Have you got any plans tonight, Stan, if you win this game? I'm sure you'll be drinking quite heavily, I'm sure.
Well, I certainly feel like one, because we've been non-stop since 6 o'clock this morning, hanging on to tents to stop them blowing over the wall. As you can see, we've got a tented village. A lot of people have put a lot of work in, but it might be one of those cases where we're so excited we just can't switch off. But yeah, a couple of drinks. Unfortunately, I've got work in the morning, but I know quite a few haven't, so they can get on here and tidy up.
We've all got work tomorrow, Stan. Thanks ever so much. Good luck for the rest of the game. Thanks to Stan Eaton. Well, it is so nicely poised. 151 for 3 in the 37th. Steve Dearden is bowling now to Chris Blezard. Well, what a game we've got on our hands now. I'm pleased to say it's a lot brighter. I think we'll finish tonight. Dearden comes in. Blezard hits this straight back. It's fielded at mid-on. There's no run. Just seemed a little bit nervous, did Stan Heaton there. He played in the 80 final when East Lancs defeated Lowerhouse. 151 for 3. There's some symmetry on the board now because both batsmen are on 51, and it's Cottam that's played the senior role in the last few minutes. That rain delay's not done anybody any good. The outfield's a little bit slower. The ball's going to be wet. In comes Dearden again. Very experienced bowler at this level. Outside off stump. Cottam's got this down towards point. He's got 1. He's got 4. It's eluded the fielder. 155 for 3. I think Cottam is now the main man, Mark.
That's right. Cottam playing superbly well. Those 2 boundaries is really... thoughts in his mind, and there may be 1 or 2 worrying thoughts.
Yeah, good point that Jim made, because Asif Mushtabar's still got 3 overs to bowl. That could be a key point in the game. It's 155 for 3. We're going to continue with the game on 95.5 FM only. The other FM frequencies will see or hear the Lancashire Blue Notes with Nick Dow. We'll remind you about that once more before 8 o'clock. We can't leave this game. It's such a special occasion. We'll be continuing on 95.5 FM only. Cottrell is due to bowl the 38th over. Cottam swings to leg. The fielder couldn't see it. It's going to go through for 4. I think Haslingden are not too happy now. They're struggling to see the ball.
Well, certainly it was to their advantage when the rains came, and Haslingden, they were bowling well, but certainly the Lowerhouse boys, they were well set when the weather intervened. So certainly it works both ways, and now they'll certainly not be seeing the ball as they want, as was typified there.
Yeah, I've got an update for you on the West Orton score. They're 168 for 4 off 33 overs, but sadly they've gone off for rain as well. Remember, West Orton need 256 to win that game, so I would suggest settle or well set. Just got 1 or 2 spectators in the way, and we're going to have to just get them moved. Just struggling just to see the field. Just move them out of the way. Difficult just to see for the moment. West Orton 168 for 4 then off 33. 159 for 3 here. And this is going to be Catterall to bull. Another delay here. Paul Blackledge speaking to the umpire. I wonder if he's suggesting they should be coming back tomorrow.
Well, I don't think there's any cause really. Certainly the light is just as good, if not a little better, than when we were on the field of play in the last portion. So I don't think there's any justification for Paul Blackledge to be having a word with the umpire, whether it's delaying tactics, stalling tactics, but certainly it's a little bit unsporting.
Yeah, we've got to play on, I think, here. I think, to be fair to Paul, I know him well, he just wanted to dry the ball. The umpires are speaking now. I think we've got to continue this game. We've got a massive crowd. We've got to play on. I don't think it'd be the right thing to come away and come back again tomorrow. The light, I think, is okay. It's the same for both sides. Can't be easy batting, and it won't be easy fielding. I think we've got to play on here. We've got a real game. This is Lancashire League history, really being played out here. In comes Stuart Catterall again. He's bowling to Cottam. Cottam on the back foot this time. Just pushes forward. There's no run. The score remains 159 for 3. And Catterall gets the ball back. The umpires seem happy enough at the moment. The game very much on, very, very tight. In comes Catterall again, the former Leyland Motors all-rounder. Bowls, Cottam trying to swing that to leg, doesn't make contact. Comfortable bit of fielding from wicket-keeper John Simpson. Remember, he's 16. What an occasion it must be for the 4 16-year-olds that are playing today. And one of those, Ben Heap, is due in next. So it doesn't get any bigger than that. 159 for 3. In comes Catterall again. He bowls to Cottam. Cottam can't get that away. The bowler will field off his own bowling. Missed time shot. No chance of a run. A good over this from Stuart Catterall.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's struck, or should I say, he's kept it down right at the right, on the right occasion after those boundaries from Cottam in the previous over. So certainly Stuart Catterall using all his experience and tying down Charlie Cottam.
In he comes again, bowls to Cottam. Cottam trying to get that down straight towards mid-on. It's Catterall that fields off his own bowling. His knees are muddied for that, but he got down well, diving to his right-hand side. No chance of a run. So he's put the blocks here on Lowerhouse. The lights on in the pavilion to our right-hand side. They look a lot brighter now. But I think we'll play to a conclusion tonight. In comes Catterall, bowling to Cottam. Cottam forward this time. He's got this away. Andy Smith fields it. It's taken a bang on his leg. Catterall tries to get the stumps down at the striker's end to no avail. Andy Smith's got problems here. He's taken a bang to his knee. It was a full-blooded shot, diving to his right-hand side. Might need a bit of treatment here. The score, 160 for 3.
Yeah, so just 72 wanted now, Phil, getting very close. It's certainly 50-50 is this, with 13 overs remaining. It really is nip and tuck. There's still that runner ball required, but certainly Charlie Cottam and Chris Blezard are excelling themselves, both with 50s, both well set, and those 2 overs that we were talking about where they possibly would need to adjust to the light, those have now gone and they're back on the field of play and set, and Lowerhouse certainly are in the ascendancy at the moment despite that good over from Stuart Catterall.
Yeah, just a reminder to all listeners, we will continue with this game after 8 o'clock on 95.5 FM only. The other FM stations will take Lancashire Blue Notes with Nick Dow. We can't leave this game so evenly poised. Both batsmen are meeting in the middle. There is 12 overs to go. Mark told you then another 72 needed. Bang on 6 and over. And it's Asif Mushtabar back into the attack. That's significant. Bowling to Cottam. Quick word from Blezard, I think, telling Cottam to play straight and play it down to long on, and that's exactly what he's done, and they've gone through for a single.
Yes, I think we said that Mushtabar had around 3 overs to bowl, and if they can keep Mushtabar to a runner ball, they'll be more than happy. He may be the key for Haslingden, and he may be the card that Lowerhouse make.
Good strike from Blezard. This is going to be 4. It's beaten Alan Howard. Magnificent shot from Blezard.
Trump card for Lowerhouse, and certainly it's proving to be 5 off those first 2 deliveries. Cracking shot there by Chris Blezard, and really Lowerhouse are in the ascendancy at the moment, Phil.
They look to be 165 for 3. The beauty of that, they don't really need to attack Mushtabar now. They've got the runs they need off this over. 165 for 3. This partnership with 95, the best of the game so far. In comes Mushtabar, bowling to Blezard, outside off stump, just pushes that towards point. No chance of a run. That's a dot ball. 165 for 3. I've got Blezard 59, I've got Cottam 57.
Yes.
The scoreboard agree on the far side.
Yes, close to repeating that century partnership in the semi-finals as Mushtabar comes in once more to Chris Blezard, just forces it out into the offside as an important dot ball as far as Asif Mushtabar is concerned. The score remains on 165 for 3. 11 overs remain after this one. Currently currently being bowled by the Haslingden sub-professional as Mustafa in. Again, Blezard forceful into the leg side. That's coming towards the commentary position. Is it going to go all the way? But Michael Ingham's round very well. You can hear the boos from the crowd as he cuts off that boundary. Saves 2 vital runs for his Haslingden side. But the score now moves on to 167 for 3. And Chris Blezard moves on to 61. And Charlie Cottam on to 57. It's been marvellous stuff as the partnership approaches the century. Mustafa in once more again to Chris Blezard. He'll just eke that out onto the leg side. Once more Michael Ingham one coming in from the deep mid-wicket boundary as it clicks over to 168. 98 is the partnership. The conclusion of that over. It's the 39th over here at Liverpool Road. 39 overs, 168 for 3. The partnership now 98, and we calculate Mustafa with 2 overs.
No, I make it 3. I've had another look. I think he's got 3 to go now. He's just bowled that over. So it'd be interesting to see what Paul Blackledge does. Dave Shorrock just came across and had a word. He realises that's the key point of the game. How many overs Mustafa still to bowl? It's going to be Catterall to continue from the pavilion end. This will be the 40th over, and it's Catterall's last. He's bowled well, and that's significant. It'll be Catterall now in to Blezard. He's on 61. Catterall bowls. Blezard trying to get it away. Big appeal for LBW. The wicket-keeper significantly didn't go up, just the bowler. The umpire not interested. 168 for 3. It's getting a little bit chaotic here at Liverpool Road. Just a reminder once again, if you want to continue listening to this game, it'll be brought to you in a conclusion on 95.5 FM. The other FM frequencies will have Lancashire Blue Notes with Nick Dow. In comes Catterall again. Bowls to Blezard. He's got this away. It's a fluky 4. He's edged it through third man. Mark, they all count.
Yes, could this be Lowerhouse year? That was a very fortuitous shot there from Chris Blezard, looking to hit it out well possibly into the cover area. Gets a streaky 4 down to the boundary. 4 priceless runs as far as he's concerned. 172 for 3. He moves into the mid-60s. 66 to Chris Blezard and 57 to Charlie Cottam, and that's the century partnership.
Yes, it is. 102 this pair have put on. They came together at 73. What a vital partnership this is. Another word from the skipper Paul Blackledge to Stuart Catterall. He's going to come in now from the pavilion end. Bowls to Blezard. Blezard on his back foot, tries to clip it away. Good bit of fielding from the wicket-keeper John Simpson. Threatens to throw down the non-striking end. But you sense, Mark, with just another 62 needed, it's going to be tense.
It certainly is. In fact, it may be less than a run of the ball now. Certainly Lowerhouse, we said before, we are in the ascendancy. It's very, very tense out here. Haslingden are absolutely desperate for a wicket. Certainly the psychological advantage is with the hosts.
In comes Catterall again. Hope you can hear us above the noise. Blezard forward. He'll take a single down to long on. 172 for 3. He moves on to 67. I know it's getting a little monotonous. I want to remind you once again, if you're staying with the game, we'll continue after 8 o'clock on 95.5 FM only. I'm sure if you've been listening all day, you won't leave us now in our hour of need.
Most certainly not. As Stuart Catterall coming to the conclusion of his 10-over stint. It's been a good one as ever. He's had a good Worlsey Cup as Stuart Catterall. You were saying earlier, Phil, 9 wickets in the 3 games played this time as Catterall comes in. Sorry, Phil, just pinch your commentary there as the fielder comes round from the boundary and they just scamper through for 174 for 3. Charlie Cottam goes on to 58, so closing in on that score. So just 174, as I said. 58 to Charlie Cottam. What a magnificent innings it's been from him. 67 from Chris Blezard. A standard 103 as we said, 232 the targets for Lowerhouse here this afternoon to lift the Worlsey Cup.
Catterall will come in again. 174 for 3. We'll leave you only for the news. We'll be back after the news. Blezard swept this. He's going to get 1. It'll be picked up, I think, by Alan Howarth, just at that fine leg position. Another single. 175 for 3 at the end of the 40th over. So the situation is 10 overs to play, another 55 needed, and that really will see Lowerhouse home. They haven't won a trophy in their 142-year history. Is it going to be tonight? Lowerhouse 175 for 3 at the end of the 40th over. There's 68 to Charlie Cottam, 67 to Chris Blezard. We'll see you after the news on 95.5.
Across the county on AM, FM and digital radio.
This is BBC Radio Lancashire.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm Jonathan Alley. Good evening. Police have been given more time to question 9 men detained in anti-terror raids last week. A total of 13 were arrested. Of those, one's been charged with possessing forged identity papers, and others being questioned about immigration matters, while two
target of 232, and Michael Ingham has come into the attack, bowling to Charlie Cottam. Cottam forwards, got this away on the onside. He's going to certainly get a couple here. The fielder's chasing it. He's going to pick it up inside the boundary fence. Another 2, 183 for 3. This partnership, Mark, just gets better and better.
Yes, it's certainly a good sign for Lowerhouse that Michael Ingham now has been introduced into the attack. Is it a desperate measure as far as Paul Blackledge is concerned? 183 for 3, 64 now to Charlie Cottam. Chris Blezard, a magnificent 70 not out. Charlie Cottam to face, and Michael Ingham on quite a lengthy run-up. He's about to bowl with 8 overs remaining after this one.
Yeah, it's a while since I've seen Michael Ingham bowl. He bowls. Cottam's forward. He's got it away on the onside. There's certainly a couple here. It's going down to where long leg would be. They're going to come back for 2 more. 185 for 3. This partnership worth 115 now, and Cottam moves on to 66. There's 70 to Blezard. Very much in the box seat now, you would think.
Yeah, 70 for 3 when Peter Fulton departed. That's magnificent century. Partnership of 115 between Blezard and Charlie Cottam. Are they taking Lowerhouse to their first ever trophy in 142 years? It's going to be absolute bedlam if they do it.
It's going to be. It is very noisy. In comes Michael Ingham. Cottam trying to get him away. There won't be a run here. I've got a Lowerhouse fan who's wanted to come on all afternoon. He's going to spoil it in a minute. What's your name?
My name's Ryan.
Ryan, are you enjoying it?
I mean, I'm loving it. It's absolutely brilliant.
And a Lowerhouse going to win?
It's a bit touch and go, but if you look at it, the place is full, and what a day for cricket. This is what cricket is all about, innit? And I wish more people could see what we are seeing and get down, support the local clubs. Oh, look at that.
Another 4 for Charlie Cottam.
Another 4.
Well said, Ryan. Get along and support your local club. He's had a drink or 2, but I think he did about okay, just about okay. 189 for 3. There's some symmetry on the board. Both batsmen have got 70. Chris Blezard on 70. Charlie Cottam on 70. 189 for 3. And just 8 overs to go now.
Yeah, what a cracking over there from Lowerhouse. A cracking drive through extra cover by Cottam and gets him on level terms. 70 apiece now for Charlie Cottam and Chris Blezard. This stand building 115. In fact, it's 119 is this stand now since the departure of Peter Fulton, the Lowerhouse professional, for 26. It seems ages ago. They've repeated the century partnership that they made in the semi-final against Enfield. This possibly is taking Lowerhouse to the 2004 Worlsey Cup trophy. Will it be? Well, it's going to be in about the next 30 minutes, Phil.
It is going to be very, very tense. We've got Chris Blezard facing Asif Mushtabar. This is an important over. Blezard's hit him straight. He's been playing Mushtabar straight. It's sensible tactics. 190 for 3. Blezard on 71. They're making sure they're playing Mushtabar straight, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. Mushtabar is in his final over, I think, now.
No, it's his penultimate, Mark. He's got one after this. In he comes, the former Pakistani test spinner. Cottam played it well on the back foot that time. Just pushes it back to the bowler. No change in the score. 190 for 3.
I think if you can just eke out 3 or 4 runs off Mushtabar, they'll be happy, especially after Michael Ingham's last over.
In comes Mushtabar again, on the back foot this time. Cottam, he sort of edged forward and then had to go back, pushes it into the offside. Now, I just felt a drop or two of rain there. Let's hope the day isn't going to be spoilt. The light's not brilliant. I'm sure Lowerhouse want to continue the way things are. In comes Mushtabar again. Cottam gets this away. He'll certainly get one here. They won't think about two. It's Steve Dearden that'll field it. His throw's dynamite. They won't risk that. 191 for 3.
Yeah, 191 for 3, as you say, Phil, edging towards the 200. That'll be a big psychological boost for Lowerhouse, and certainly a dent in the championship aspirations or the cup aspirations of Haslingden Cricket Club, as Mushtabar again lines up another delivery as Chris Blezard takes guard. In comes Mushtabar. Blezard with a big
gone for it. He could be out here.
The fielder, I think. Oh, that was very lucky. Is he going to race towards the boundary ropes? No, they're going to come back for 2. They surely won't come back for 3. They stay at 2. 193 for 3. Chris Blezard goes on to 73. Charlie Cottam on 71, but that was rather fortuitous there, Phil.
Yeah, he went down the track to Mushtabar, trying to hit him towards long on. He got a leading edge just over the man at short third man. In comes
Send more house to save the house.